Hey, and good morning, everyone. Oh, let me catch up there. Welcome to another session here of our Noodles and Hangout. This is Neal Chin, and I've been hanging out with you folks for the next hour or so, talking a little bit about or continuing, I should say, to talk about the blues today. So looking forward to doing that with you folks. Hey, hold on one second. There we go. There we go. Just testing out a couple of new things and whatnot. A lot of you already know that this is just kind of like our second session here on YouTube, and so kind of trying out a few new things. So yeah, thank you for being patient and all that good stuff as always, my friends. All right. So what we're gonna do is I tell you what, just gonna warm up a little bit. Today's gonna be real casual. These are always really casual. But basically, again, we're gonna do a little Q&A on the blues, the blues, just to kind of wrap it up, because I actually kind of got some fun stuff planned for our upcoming sessions and whatnot. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we continue. And of course, too, it's always good to do some repertoire, so I'll be playing some tunes and whatnot as well today. So let's kind of just jump into it and let's play some music, yeah? Hey, Francesca. And hey, Todd. Good morning. Or good evening, I should say. Alrighty, one sec. There we go. haven't played this one in a while. It's a song from Kui Lee. Oh, it's a song from Kui Lee called "I'll Remember You." little Elvis Presley there for you folks too, for you Elvis fans. That's love that song. It's a song, of course. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with "Can't Help Falling in Love." Such a lovely tune. Yeah, alrighty. And what did I play before that? Nah. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Oh, too funny, Todd. Yeah, it was right at the end there. You know, I had to make it's at that critical junction when you're on the 5, right? It's like, am I gonna make this a medley today or not, right? Sorry to leave you in suspense. Ha ha ha. Bad joke. Alrighty, I'm just gonna pull up the little thread here, so I can just take a look at what you folks are saying. Oh yes, Christmas soon. Christmas music very soon. Very sure, for sure. Alrighty, folks. Hey, how's it going, Yuki? Good morning. Good morning, Joan and Tanya. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Let's see if I can do this actually. We'll play one more tune and then we'll jump into the blues today. Yeah. I haven't played this in a long time here. It's a song called In a Church in an Old Hawaiian Town. I love this song. It's so simple. Lyrics are real sweet. And it always reminds me of home too. You know, I grew up on the island of Maui. And one of the things I had the pleasure of doing growing up is going to attend the, I forget the name in full, which is terrible, but the ukulele contest that used to take place at the Hula Grill out in Ka'anapali. And one of the two of the musicians that would always play there was Garrett Propes and Peter D'Aquino. And this is a song that they used to play there together. And especially as a kid, you know, I was kind of soaking everything up. And this is one of those songs, I guess, that kind of got imprinted on me a little bit, at least the feeling and the chords and whatnot. So we're going to attempt this, kind of move around it a little bit. And if we drop the melody, and by we, I mean me, if I drop the melody and whatnot, we'll play with the chords as usual. So hope you enjoy it. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Something like that. Got the melody on the second pass there. Alrighty, folks. I'm gonna jump into today's topic, like I mentioned, or like it's in the title. I figured I'd just kind of open up as like a little Q&A, just because we're talking about the blues in the last couple of sessions. So if anybody has any questions or any thoughts or contributions, of course, too, I've always loved to hear what people have to say and think. These live streams and whatnot, these are always just from my perspective, and so always looking to enlighten that perspective and grow it. So if you have anything to add, of course, I would love to hear what you have to say. But in the meantime, while you folks are thinking of your questions and whatnot, if you have any, of course, go ahead and leave it in the chat. I'll take a peek and try to get to them. And if not, some people had asked a little bit about phrasing and whatnot after the first session. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, because this is one of those things that we can spend, or you can spend a lot of time working on, because it's a really wide subject, because people phrase things very differently, right? And so we're just going to look at really kind of like one key element that I like to use when using the blues. And I definitely have touched upon this in the past, just because it's a really useful tool, but no time like the present. So we'll do it again. But all right, so let's take the broad stroke first, right? So talking about phrasing and what does that mean? So what phrasing really is kind of it's kind of the way that you say something, right? Or kind of for example, a good expression or a good way to look at that is just listening to the way that people speak, right? Because if I wrote down what is it? If I say these crackers are really dry, right? If I were to say these crackers are really dry, if everyone in the room, went around the room and everyone said it, everyone would say it maybe a little bit differently. And it's kind of interesting too, as you go along, people start to copy each other too, which is another phenomenon, which is good to think about. But if we think about just in general, right, I can say that, okay, so if like you say, these crackers are dry, right? So I could say, these crackers are dry. I could say, these crackers are dry, right? Or I could say something like, these crackers are dry. Or if we test maybe a little bit of a different inflection just for fun, right? These crackers are dry, right? It's the same, technically the same information, but obviously with all these, goofy inflections that I'm doing here, you can interpret that differently. And granted, I'm being a little over the top here, but you get the idea, right? When we have a phrase and whatnot and that we're playing on our instrument, we can think about this in a very similar way. And of course, there's a lot of all these little technical things that we can look at about like timbre, which we've talked about in the past, or, dynamics as it pertains to volume, like things like that, of course, are super important. But, what I like about this subject in general is that, for most of us who speak, with a little bit of attention, we can kind of notice like these little changes in phrasing that we do ourselves, or maybe that other people do. And even just paying attention to that alone, just throughout your, everyday life, I think can be a great way to, just at least open your ear to the idea. So, phrasing can be, it's a wide and deep topic because, again, everyone will do this slightly differently. And it's kind of one of the nice things, especially I feel like in jazz, that I particularly enjoy, because like, we'll take like a tune like Autumn Leaves, it's been played how many, like thousands and thousands and thousands of times, right? But, I'll still put on, there's this video I really like of Tommy Emmanuel, playing Autumn Leaves. I'll still listen to that because of the way that he phrases things. I don't know, at least right now, it still catches me off guard, which is really nice. And so things like that, can make an old song sound new. So as it pertains to phrasing, one of the things, again, like the technique that we'll look at today, or the idea that we'll look at today, is what I call the rule of three. And especially for those of you who take classes from me, I'm sure that that I've definitely said this before, because again, it's a really useful tool. Yeah. And this is just I call it the rule of three, but I'm sure that you've heard this, in different forms or maybe with different titles and whatnot. But the concept is that, with three, right, we can create a pattern, right? You know, if we say something once, right, it's a statement. If we say it a second time, it's just a repeating of that statement. But at that third point, right, it's that where we can kind of, maybe even anticipate what's going to happen next. So if I said that these crackers are really dry, these crackers are really dry. These crackers are really dry. These crackers are really dry. You might have said it, right? Or you might have wanted to say that, right? And that's kind of the power of this idea, right? So for the blues, right, this works excellently because, it's like built into the form itself, right? I mean, if you think about a lot of, especially as it pertains to like the 12-bar blues, right? I mean, lyrically speaking, usually there's a phrase, and then the phrase gets repeated, and then there's a response to that phrase, right? So if it's like, what you call? I'm drawing a blank right now. Sweet Home Chicago, right? So come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, there we go. Baby, don't you wanna go? Right, same phrase again, and then the response to that call, right? Da 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 to California, to my sweet home Chicago. There we go. That's the one I meant. And so we can really play on this, in small ways when we're, maybe developing a solo or, even maybe just like a small counter melody, kind of hanging out in the background. Or if you're just thinking about just arranging in general, right? And again, that's the power of this is that it works great for the blues and it works really well for a lot of other things as well. Okay. So think about that rule of three when you're kind of developing phrases and whatnot. So if I'm here, let's say I'll be on, let's go to F. F is a nice key here because I got a lot of different little things that we can do in the first couple of frets here. We have our F, our root right here on the second string, first fret. Terrible. And we have notes above and below it, which is really nice. So if I want to play notes from F going up, or if I want to go down, I can go down too, which is kind of nice. Yeah. So it just gives flexibility. But, okay, so for example, right, so we'll start up a little groove over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you just a couple of examples of how to use this, yeah? I'll go, we'll go kind of, I'll do kind of longer phrases in the beginning, and then I'm going to kind of break them down into smaller phrases there, so we can kind of hear how we can take it from maybe a large idea, maybe like a melody of a song, for example, and then take it and then kind of have smaller sentences that we can kind of start to chain together or link together. So take a look. So let's say this will turn around. Yeah, so 5 here. Okay, so for example, right? What's that? Kind of smaller ideas there. So you kind of heard, right? So it was kind of like 2 lines and then a reply to that, right? 2 calls and a response, right? Okay, so now in a little bit of a smaller way, okay? You missed the chord change. Okay, here's the vibe. There you go. Oh, something like that, right? And that's the thing too, is that like so initially, it can be like something direct, like a repeat of a phrase. That's where I'll often say, and if you play something that you like, then repeat it, right? And I say this, both as like a practical way to practice, because it helps kind of reinforce something, of course, that you enjoyed in your fingers, but also it works from a musical standpoint, kind of coming from this idea, right? So if you're kind of moving around and you find a phrase that you like, if you repeat it, boom, boom, right? That already kind of sets you up for having, those two setups, or 1 and 2. That sets you up for that third phrase there. That maybe what you could do is maybe play it again and then try maybe a slight variation on it. And it doesn't got to be big, it can just be just a few notes. So, and this is the same example that I was using in the last class too, but it's just like that, kind of small little melody right there, right? Ba-da-da-da, a staple, right, of the genre. And so, just by setting that up, again, going... a small little inflection going up. Okay? So that's a little bit about the rule of 3 that I like to use again, and as again that kind of pertains to phrasing and whatnot. But you can also, of course, use that as taking ideas, conceptually, and then maybe moving over with that expectation. So it might be something like, oh, maybe I'll play in minor, maybe well, actually, yeah, you could do that. You could play maybe in minor for the first couple of phrases and then go major. Maybe a little more common would be the other way around. Start in major and then maybe work your way over to minor. I always feel like that's kind of nice. Basically all these examples is kind of that I've been using today, because it's, that minor really kind of catches your ear a little bit. So, having that little flat third or that flat 5 in there can be kind of nice. For that response. So, but again, yeah, you can take the concepts and use those to repeat and set your expectations set up that way too. That also works. So, yeah, I hope that makes sense for you folks. Let's kind of move around a little bit. Yeah, actually, I'll put a little bit of blues here. Let's put a little bit more. I'll do it. I'll play it in C instead, actually. Just because. Yeah, that's about right here. Okay, so kind of shuffle a little bit. 1, 2, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit of the blues there, a little bit of sea blues, if you will. Just kind of having some fun with that one. So, alrighty, folks. As Corp Porter said, how strange the change from major to minor. Very nice, very nice, very nice. I know I'm in good company here. Good, very nice. Alrighty. So, yeah. Any questions or anything like that, go ahead and drop it in the chat and whatnot. But if not, I'm gonna move along here. And oh yeah, good. Play some tunes. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's see if it'll work. First time too. Get ready, steady, and move. Yay! One time, maybe. It's thinking about it. All right. So you can kind of see a little bit here. Actually, I left this song up. This is kind of attempted this a little bit last week. Whew. And I tried it again yesterday. Actually, it came out a little bit better. But it's such a good song. It's just such a good song. This is a Waltz for Debbie. Just want to throw that chord chart up there. It's in 3/4, and it's kind of crazy. I'm always mystified by it, and humbled, I should say, because it's a nice reminder. But I've been trying to tackle this song for kind of a long time. Boy, I think I first heard this in high school, so been definitely over 10 years ago. But it's only finally starting to come out of my fingers now. Actually, just in the past couple of months, which has been really nice. So this is a friendly PSA, folks, to be patient. At least maybe this will be a reminder for myself to be patient. Because it's kind of crazy how much that a little bit of time can really season something. So yeah. You know what? Let's actually we will move on to a new tune here. Actually, let's do this one. This is not a new tune. In all senses of the term here on the stream, and of course historically. This is a classic tune from Mr. Ray Noble called The Very Thought of You. Yeah, it's just a fun, lovely, lovely song. This was one of the times, definitely really noticed the lyrics. I really love the lyrics of the song. Right, the ending there is I see your face in every flower, in your eyes and stars above. How pretty is that? It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love. The very thought of you. Such a nice song. But I'm gonna noodle around with this one over here. I'll just play some notes and we'll see maybe if we'll do some singing. We'll see. No promises. Came in late to cover the jazz changes. Niles, hey, no worries. No, we actually didn't really cover the jazz changes today and whatnot. We did a little bit of that, last time, but maybe we'll go ahead and actually do a full session on doing, kind of a jazz blues too next time. But you didn't miss out. Route 66 for sure. That's another good one too. Good example. A lot of slides and bendings probably isn't on just those notes and effects. Yes, sliding and bending is always welcome, you know. Definitely with the blues in particular, it's great, of course, and other things as well. One of the things too, just as a thought, before we jump into the very thought of you, uh, it's if we can make our instruments sound like the human voice, it becomes a little bit more palatable for people, right? Not saying that the ukulele isn't, of course, a palatable instrument, but having the human voice makes it a little bit more relatable, even especially I should say on a subconscious level. And so things like bending and sliding, makes you approach a note opposed to just kind of hit it, right? So instead of playing the notes D here, I can go right or just like how your voice kind of raises up to a pitch, by tightening those muscles and whatnot. So the bending and the sliding is definitely really great to make you sound like a singer, right? So, anyway, yeah. So sliding and bending, most definitely, make your instrument cry a little bit, yeah. But let's try this one. Of course, in the lovely key of A flat too. I know all y'all love this key. I go back and forth of loving and hating it. Actually, hate's a strong word. Hate's a strong word. something like that at least. Whew. It's a lovely song called The Very Thought of You. I took some liberties there at the end of some of those sections with the turnarounds. Trying out some new things and whatnot. I always do these, kind of like 1-6-2-5, turn around or, maybe diminish or something like that in there or some variation of it. So trying out some new things. It's kind of fun to move major sevens just in parallel motions. And so that's kind of what I was attempting to try there at the end. One of the things that's always kind of nice is if you know where you're going, you can go off the path a little bit more comfortably and a little bit more easily. And that's kind of, I guess, the stance, at least, that I'm approaching this from. Trying to get to like A flat, right? So how do you get to A flat? Well, work backwards from there. So yeah, lovely, lovely tune. Hey, we got Mr. Kurt Gilman in the house. How's it going, Kurt? Thanks for tuning in, man. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. I almost did this for today, for the whole session. Let's see if I can... Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at this song. I never finish this song in time. Every year, around this time, it comes around and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm going to arrange Autumn in New York and, get around to a little bit of it, but never finish because it takes a couple of funky turns here in, of course, the best way possible. But yeah, it's kind of falling out of the fingers a little bit better, at least this past week. So we're going to try to give this one a go. Take a real quick scan over this fella, Autumn in New York. It's kind of an interesting song, right? I mean, just by looking at the chords themselves, you can kind of tell it. Well, first of all, I mean, got a lot of numbers up there, a lot of little B's, a lot of symbols and whatnot, right? But yeah. It's really kind of neat because one of the perspective shift that's been really helpful for me with this song is it's in F major and then moves outside of it in some of its kind of resolutions, and you'll hear it, I've been playing of course as always I play a lot in the key of F major just because it's a great key for the ukulele, I think. But so you can kind of, your ears are a little primed, I should say, I guess is the reason why that I bring that up for the key of F major. And so, try to anticipate some of those resolutions, at least if they come natural for you. And, let the song kind of deceive you if you're not familiar with it, because that's kind of one of the joys here of playing a tune like this. So it catches you off guard. So, anyway. It's a song called Autumn in New York. It's not all pretty. Which, perfectly symbolizes the season. So anyway, here's Autumn in New York. At least the attempt. It's like Evel Knievel, right? So Evel Knievel still gets paid for the attempt, right? No, I'm just kidding. Stole that from a movie. Leave it in the comments if you know what movie that is. Okay. I'm just stalling. just for fun. That's the last one. Yeah. Ooh. Whoa. I hit my tooth there. All right. Yeah, it's a little autumn in New York. Yeah, such a melancholy song. So pretty. At least to me, it's so pretty. So nice. So nice. Oh yeah. You just have those parts, like that C major 7. Oh, it's just so nice. In that B section, I love that. Yeah, the A half diminished almost hurts. Oh, right? It's just so tense, and then it's like the softest landing in the world. That's C major 7. And then switch function, tension, and we're back in autumn in New York. So, such a good song. If you're not familiar with it, go ahead and listen to it. There's tons of great renditions of this tune. So, oh, Mr. Chin, is there a new album in the air? That is a good looking question. The album has been in the air actually for the past couple of years, and let's just say that I've been doing a lot of personal growth over these past 3 years here, trying to kind of really working on finishing this third record. I have actually done a lot of recordings, and have kind of tossed them. Actually, it's a weird process, I guess. For those of you who have recorded in the past. You know what it's like, to kind of, or even video too, yeah. So watching yourself backwards or listening to yourself can always be a little tricky to do. So, to answer your question, there is technically an album in the works, but there's no set date right now. So, still working on tunes and still writing things. So, we will see. Hopefully soon. Can't get started. I don't think I know that song now. Actually, well, you know what? You know what? I was gonna say I would attempt it right now, but I don't want to butcher it. If you like it, if it's a song that's near and dear to you, I will spend a week here looking at it first. Alrighty, let's do one more song here, just for fun. If it wasn't fun yet. You know what? Let's do something kind of fit for the weather here, since we are in autumn. You know what? Let's do this one. Let's do Solitude. Alright. I'm gonna play one more song here for you folks. Let's do this one. This is a lovely tune from Mr. Duke Ellington called Solitude. And, ooh, good thing I checked. Because the chart that I have up here is in the wrong key. Okay, let's try this. Aw, you're sweet, Niles. You're sweet. Okay. Oh, right leg? Yeah, right leg today. Let's go right leg. Critical and key things to think about. Do you put the right leg up? Does the right leg up? Does the left leg come up? I feel like, practically speaking, the right leg is a little bit better, because then you can, let the fella sit somewhere, which is kind of nice, but I digress. All right, a little Solitude here. In my solitude, you haunt me with reveries of days gone by. In my solitude, praying, dear Lord above, please send back my love. I sit in my chair, filled with despair. Nobody could be so sad. With gloom everywhere, I sit and I say, 'cause I know I will soon go mad. In my solitude. Oh, this is I'm praying, right? I'm praying. The dear Lord above, please send back my love. Sit in my chair, filled with despair. Nobody should be so sad. With gloom everywhere, I sit and I stare, 'cause I know I will soon go mad. In my solitude, I'm praying. A dear Lord above, stand by my love. Yeah, something like that. All right, a song called Solitude from, of course, the great Mr. Duke Ellington. Alrighty, folks. Alrighty. There we go. Thanks again for tuning in to another session here of our Noodles and Hangout. Thank you for sending all your love in the chat and whatnot. And, you know, it's always great to see you folks and whatnot. So thanks for tuning in. You know, I'll have to, of course, think about it, but it seems like, you know, maybe we'll have to kind of really take another week with the blues and take maybe a look at some of that, some jazz blues chords and whatnot, too. And maybe we'll get a chart up here for next week. So stay tuned for another session, of course, next week, Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning. And as always, if you folks have any questions or anything that you folks want to talk about and whatnot, please feel free to send me a message, leave it in the comments and whatnot. I actually made a mistake, and I was wrong last time because the chat does actually get left up. So I got the chance to, after the fact, go ahead and double check the chat and whatnot. So thanks for that, and also a little bit of that. But alrighty, folks. That being said, too, if you can, if it's possible, right? Maybe do something nice for somebody else, because it sure definitely makes you feel better. Think about that, right? If you share your happiness, it's doubled, right? No. It is true. It's true. I definitely believe it. Alrighty, folks. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you folks next week for another session. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, friends.